The distress signal. The Galactic Coalition had long classified Sol 3, Earth, as a Class XII death world. The designation wasn't an exaggeration. With crushing gravity, extreme temperature variations, toxic oxygen-rich atmosphere, savage predators, and microscopic killers lurking in every drop of water, Earth was deemed uninhabitable by any sensible species. The fact that it had produced not just life, but sapient life, was considered a cosmic anomaly. The creatures that evolved there, humans, were even more perplexing. They were durability anomalies. Endurance predators who could sweat to regulate temperature, heal from grievous wounds, survive losing limbs, and consume nearly anything organic. Their skeletal structure could withstand impacts that would shatter the bones of most spacefaring species. Their psychological makeup was equally baffling. Aggressive yet cooperative, curious to the point of self-destruction, and possessed of an inexplicable drive to protect even at personal cost. The Coalition's policy on Earth was simple: observation only, no contact. The humans were advancing quickly but remained largely confined to their solar system. Their experimental faster-than-light engines were considered primitive and unreliable. The general consensus was that containing these potential threats was the safest course of action. Ambassador Velasarn of the Tlaxian Diplomatic Corps disagreed with this assessment, but as a junior member of the Coalition's Contact Committee, her opinions carried little weight. She had studied human broadcasts for decades and found their stories fascinating. Tales of sacrifice, heroism, and moral complexity that her own culture lacked. They may be violent, she often argued in committee meetings, but they direct that violence according to principles. There's something there we haven't understood yet. Her colleagues would flutter their sensory appendages in what passed for galactic amusement. "You've been watching too many human movies, Velasarn," they would say. "Fiction isn't reality." Velasarn could only respond, "Fiction reveals what a species aspires to be." Today, however, she wasn't thinking about humans. The diplomatic corps vessel Starlight Messenger was responding to an urgent communique from the Alien Confederation, a peaceful species of empathic crystalline beings who maintained a research outpost on the outer rim of Coalition space. The message was disturbingly brief: under attack, heavy casualties, unknown aggressors. Then coordinates and silence. The aliens were beloved throughout Coalition space for their artwork and healing abilities. Their empathic nature made them incapable of violence. They physically couldn't bear to cause pain to others, because they would experience it themselves. Captain Kernax entered the observation deck where Velasarn was reviewing the message for the 100th time. "We're approaching the coordinates," the captain said, his blue-scaled skin reflecting the starlight. "Long-range sensors are picking up 3 vessels in orbit around the alien colony. Design matches known Scare Marauder vessels." Velasarn's heart contracted in her chest. The Scare were a species of nomadic raiders who operated beyond Coalition jurisdiction, pillaging isolated settlements for resources and slaves. They were brutal, efficient, and utterly without mercy. "How long until Coalition defense forces can respond?" she asked. "The nearest patrol is 3 standard cycles away," Kernax replied grimly. "The aliens won't survive 3 cycles," Velasarn whispered. The Starlight Messenger was a diplomatic vessel, not a warship. It carried no weapons, only enhanced communication systems, and minimal defensive capabilities. They could do nothing but watch and record as the Scare systematically dismantled the alien colony. On the viewer, Velasarn could see small explosions dotting the surface of the once beautiful crystalline settlement. Each flash represented deaths, suffering that the entire empathic population would feel collectively. It was genocide unfolding before her eyes. "Captain," she said suddenly, turning to Kernax, "how far are we from the Sol system?" The captain blinked his ternary eyes in sequence, the Tlaxian equivalent of a frown. "You can't be suggesting." "How far?" "Approximately 0.7 cycles at maximum speed," he admitted. "But, Ambassador, contacting the humans is expressly forbidden by Coalition." So is standing by while an entire species is exterminated. Velisarn interrupted. The aliens are dying. Every moment we debate, more die. The humans have ships. They have weapons. They're not part of the coalition. They're classified as a potentially hostile species. Look at the screen, Captain. Velisarn gestured toward the viewer, showing the scare ships. That is hostile. What I'm proposing is a calculated risk. Kirnax's scales darkened with stress. You're asking me to violate multiple coalition directives. I'm asking you to save lives, Velisarn said quietly. If I'm wrong about the humans, nothing changes. The aliens die. But if I'm right? After a long moment, the captain nodded. Communications, he called. Prepare to transmit the alien distress signal toward the Sol system. Include translation matrices and the colony's coordinates. Captain, protested his first officer. The humans don't even have reliable FTL technology. Then no harm done, Kirnax replied, his voice steady but his scales still dark with tension. Note my authorization of this violation in the ship's log. I take full responsibility. The communications officer worked quickly. Signal redirected toward Sol 3. Translation attached. Now, Velisarn said softly, we wait. Commander Elena Vasquez was reviewing fleet exercises in her office aboard the Luna Command Center when her AI assistant interrupted. Commander, it said, we've detected an anomalous signal from beyond our system. Elena looked up from her tablet. What kind of signal? Unknown origin. Appears to be non-human in design, but includes what seems to be a translation matrix. Her heart skipped a beat. Humanity had been searching for extraterrestrial intelligence for centuries, finding only tantalizing hints and anomalies. Show me, she ordered. A holographic display materialized above her desk. Strange symbols scrolled across it, followed by their translation into multiple Earth languages. URGNT. Help. Colony under ATACK. Many dead. PEC fuel species cannot defend. Coordinates follow. Elena stared at the message, her mind racing. Verify this. Could it be a hoax? Signal origin is approximately 36 light-years from Earth, the AI responded. No human technology could transmit from that distance or falsify these carrier wave patterns. The translation matrix appears to be designed specifically to be understood by our systems. A chill ran down Elena's spine. This was real. Within 20 minutes, she stood in the station's main command center with Earth's Unified Defense Force leadership connected via secure channels. Fleet Admiral Hiroshi Tanaka's weathered face dominated the central display. The signal is genuine, reported Dr. Sarah Chen, the UDF's chief xenolinguist. Her fingers danced across her console as she analyzed the data. The translation matrix is incredibly sophisticated. Whoever sent this wanted to make absolutely sure we understood. It's obviously a trap, General Williams stated flatly. Why would aliens we've never met contact us specifically for help? Perhaps because they need it, Dr. Chen suggested. The message is simple and desperate. Admiral Tanaka studied the star map showing the signal's origin. What do we know about that region of space? Nothing conclusive, admitted the head of astronomy. It's beyond our current exploration range. The debate continued, officials arguing risks versus responsibility. Elena listened until she couldn't remain silent any longer. While we debate, she interrupted, beings somewhere out there are dying. Admiral Tanaka nodded slowly. Commander Vasquez, what assets do we have available for immediate deployment? The 7th Rapid Response Fleet is combat-ready, sir. 7 ships with our best crews and the new Mark IV FTL drives. We could launch within 3 hours. Those drives haven't been fully cleared for extended operations, a science advisor protested. They've passed all critical tests, Elena countered. They're as ready as they'll ever be. Admiral Tanaka seemed to be weighing something in his mind. Finally, he spoke. This could be first contact with multiple alien civilizations, or it could be something else entirely. Either way, humanity's response matters. He straightened his shoulders. Commander Vasquez, you are hereby authorized to take the 7th Fleet to the coordinates provided. Your mission parameters are: assess the situation, provide assistance to the threatened colony if possible, and represent Earth with honor. The command center fell silent. Rules of engagement, sir, Elena asked quietly. Defensive posture unless attacked. If the colony is under assault as described, you are authorized to use appropriate force to protect innocent lives. The Admiral's eyes were hard. Show them what humanity stands for, Commander. 6 hours later, Elena stood on the bridge of the UDF flagship Intrepid as the 7 ships of Earth's fleet prepared to make humanity's first journey beyond their solar system. The vessels were the best Earth had, fast, well-armed, and equipped with the experimental FTL drives that had only recently passed their final tests. Status report, she called to her bridge crew. The scare vessels loomed like metal predators, their dark hulls absorbing light. Each was nearly twice the size of the largest human ship, bristling with mining equipment converted to weapons. 3 main ships, Commander, Park reported, plus 22 smaller craft. They're positioning to block our approach to the planet. Elena nodded. They think size gives them the advantage. Doesn't it? Dr. Abezi asked nervously from the back of the bridge. Engineer Rodriguez looked up with a grin. Not if you're faster. Elena opened a channel to all Earth ships. This is Commander Vasquez. The Scare have refused to withdraw. Our mission is to protect the colony and neutralize the threat. Remember your training. These ships are big but slow. Use that against them. Intrepid will engage the lead vessel. Good hunting. From the Starlight Messenger, Velasarn, and the crew watched in silence as the human fleet split into 3 groups. The largest human ships moved directly toward the scare vessels, while smaller, faster craft circled to the sides. What are they doing? Asked an officer. They're dividing their forces against a superior enemy. Velasarn's eyes never left the display. They're hunting. The first shots came from the scare. Beams of energy lanced out from their largest ship, aiming for the Intrepid. The human vessel rolled sideways, the attack missing by meters. Evasive pattern Delta, ordered Elena. Get me a clear shot at their main weapon ports. The Intrepid danced around the scare attacks with surprising agility. 2 other human ships joined it, each moving in a different pattern, but somehow coordinating their movements perfectly. Now, Elena commanded. 3 human ships fired simultaneously. Their weapons struck the lead Scar vessel at the same points, creating a surge of energy that overloaded the shields. Their shields operate on a harmonic frequency. Rodriguez called out, studying the readings. Give me 2 minutes to recalibrate our weapons. While Rodriguez worked, the battle expanded. The smaller human ships engaged the scare support craft, moving so quickly the larger vessels couldn't target them effectively. They're using pack tactics, observed Velasarn, fascinated despite her horror at the violence. Like predators. On the Intrepid, Rodriguez shouted in triumph. Got it. Recalibrating all fleet weapons now. Targeting data sent. All ships, Elena ordered. Target the coordinates Engineer Rodriguez sent you. Fire when ready. The human fleet fired again. This time their weapons punched through the weakened shields of the scare ships, striking their engine sections. The scare commander's enraged face appeared on the view screen. Who are you to interfere? The weak exist to serve the strong. That's where you're wrong, Elena replied calmly. Stand down and withdraw, or we continue. Never. The battle intensified. The scare ships, now aware of the human threat, focused their firepower. Energy beams crossed space, some finding their targets. 2 human vessels took hits, their shields flaring bright blue under the impact. Orion is damaged, Park reported as one of the smaller ships veered away trailing debris. They've lost engines, but life support is stable. Send Phoenix to cover them, Elena ordered. Rodriguez leaned forward at his console. They're trying to divide our attention between their ships and the colony. Elena studied the tactical display, noticing a pattern in the scare movements. They're protecting their lead ship. That's their command vessel. She made a decision. New plan. We target their flagship directly. Commander, Park warned, to get a clear shot, we'd have to move within range of all three of their main ships. I know. Elena's eyes never left the display. Captain Rivera, bring us in. I want all weapons focused on these coordinates. She highlighted a section of the scare flagship. That's going to get us hit, Captain Rivera said quietly. Yes, it is, Elena acknowledged. But we'll get our shot. The Intrepid surged forward, diving toward the center of the scare formation. The other human ships provided covering fire, but the Intrepid was now the focus of the Scar's attention. Shields at 65%. Rodriguez reported as the ship shuddered under fire. 50%. Stay on course, Elena ordered. The Intrepid took hit after hit. Lights flickered on the bridge. A console exploded in sparks, forcing a crew member to fall back. Shields at 30%. Rodriguez's voice was tense but controlled. Almost there, Rivera muttered, his hand steady on the controls. From the star-like messenger, Kernax watched in disbelief. They're sacrificing themselves, he whispered. No, Velasarn replied, understanding dawning on her face. They're taking a calculated risk. The Intrepid rolled sideways, presenting its undamaged shield section to absorb the next hit. The maneuver placed it directly beneath the scare flagship. Now, Elena commanded. All weapons on the Intrepid fired at once, striking the exact same point on the scare flagship's underside. The combined energy burst overloaded the ship's shields and penetrated the hull, hitting something critical inside. Explosions blossomed along the scare flagship's side. Its massive form began to list, engines sputtering and dying. Direct hit on their main power core, Park reported, unable to keep the excitement from her voice. Their flagship is crippled. The effect on the other scare ships was immediate. They broke off their attack patterns, moving to protect their damaged leader. They're falling back, Rivera announced. The bridge crew of the Intrepid held their breath as the scare ships slowly retreated, gathering their smaller craft as they withdrew from the planet's orbit. A final message came from the scare commander, his face now showing something new. Fear. This is not over, humans. The scare do not forget. The transmission ended. The scare ships accelerated away from the planet, wounded but still dangerous. Elena let out a long breath before opening a channel to the fleet. Stand down to condition yellow. Damage reports from all ships. Prepare medical teams for surface deployment. On the Starlight Messenger, the alien observers remained speechless. Their understanding of warfare came from historical records and theoretical studies. What they had just witnessed defied those understandings. They took damage deliberately, said an officer in disbelief. They'd risked death to create an opportunity. And they won, Captain Kernax said quietly. What are they doing now? Asked another officer as the human ships regrouped, some moving toward the planet. They're sending help to the surface, Velasarn realized. They're not just fighters, they're rescuers. On the Intrepid, Elena turned to Dr. Abasi. Doctor, I need you to lead the first medical team to the surface. We have no idea what we'll find down there or how to help them. Abasi nodded, his mind already racing with possibilities. I'll do my best. Elena looked out at the stars, toward where the scare ships had disappeared. They'll be back with more ships. We'll be ready, Captain Rivera promised. The human shuttle descended through the planet's atmosphere, buffeted by winds as it approached the alien settlement. Dr. Abasi peered through the viewport at the alien landscape below. Crystalline structures that would have been breathtaking were now fractured and smoking, with large craters scarring the ground. Prepare for landing, announced the pilot. Scans show breathable atmosphere, but be ready with your masks just in case. Abbasi checked his medical kit one last time. Beside him, a team of 8 medics and 12 security personnel did the same. None of them knew exactly what to expect. They were the first humans to set foot on an alien world. Remember, Abbasi said, the aliens are empathic. Their emotional states may affect us. Stay calm and focused. The shuttle touched down in what appeared to be a central plaza. As the doors opened, Abbasi felt it immediately, a wave of fear and pain that wasn't his own. He steadied himself against the doorframe. "Everyone feel that?" he asked. The team nodded, faces tense. "That's the aliens," he explained. "They're projecting their emotions. Take a moment to adjust." They stepped out onto alien soil. The security team formed a perimeter, while Abbasi and the medics looked around. The buildings, made of a crystalline material that seemed to glow from within, were elegant but showed clear damage from the attack. Several had collapsed entirely. "Life signs everywhere," reported a medic checking his scanner. "Many injured." A movement caught Abbasi's eye. From behind a damaged structure, a figure emerged. The alien stood slightly shorter than the average human, with a translucent crystalline body that refracted light in mesmerizing patterns. Instead of a face, they had what appeared to be a cluster of sensory organs that glowed with gentle blue light. The alien approached cautiously, tendrils of light extending outward in what seemed like a greeting. "Hello," Abbasi said softly, stepping forward. "We're here to help. Do you understand me?" The alien's lights pulsed, and then a melodic voice seemed to come from within its crystalline body. "I understand. Your translator works." The voice sounded neither male nor female to human ears. "I am Lyria. I coordinate community healing. I'm Dr. Abbasi. We received your distress call." Lyria's lights flickered brightly. "You are from Earth, the prohibited world." Abbasi nodded. "We came as soon as we could." Pulses of light rippled through Lyria's crystalline form, their version of tears. Abbasi realized. "You fought the scare for us. Why? We are strangers to you." "Because you needed help," Abbasi said simply. "Where are the injured?" Lyria led them through the settlement. Everywhere they went, injured aliens huddled in groups, their bodies linked by tendrils of light. Abbasi realized they were using their empathic abilities to share the burden of pain. "The children," Lyria explained, leading them to a partially collapsed structure. "I tried to shield them when the scare came." Inside, several dozen young aliens were gathered in what had once been some kind of community space. Their lights pulsed weakly, and many had visible fractures in their crystalline bodies. "We'll help them," Abbasi promised, signaling his team to begin work. As the medics examined the alien children, Abbasi was surprised to find that despite their different biology, many of the injuries could be treated by adapting human medical techniques. The aliens had a remarkable ability to heal quickly when their emotional distress was soothed. "Your pain affects your healing," Abbasi observed as he treated a young one with a fractured limb. Lyria's lights pulsed in agreement. "Our bodies and spirits are connected. The attack created a darkness in our collective consciousness, like psychological trauma," Abbasi murmured. "We have that too." Above the planet, the Starlight Messenger moved alongside the Intrepid. A formal meeting was arranged, the first official diplomatic contact between the Galactic Coalition and Earth. Velisarn stepped aboard the human vessel with Captain Kernax. Commander Elena Vasquez waited to greet them. The 3 representatives studied each other, members of entirely different evolutionary paths brought together by circumstance. "Your ships performed remarkably," Kernax said, choosing his words carefully. "I've never seen such tactics." "We did what was necessary," Elena replied simply. "How are the aliens?" "They will survive, thanks to your intervention," Velisarn said. "But the scare will return. They always do." Elena's expression hardened. "Then we have work to do." She gestured toward the conference room. "Shall we discuss the terms of our new alliance?" As they walked together, Vela Sarn reflected on the stories she had studied, human tales of sacrifice, honor, and unexpected heroes. Perhaps they weren't just stories after all. The Deathworlders had answered the call, and the galaxy would never be the same.